You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Denny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
We're going to start Commissioner's Court. Thank you. Good morning. Today is Monday, April 30th, 2018. Commissioner's Court is meeting in regular open session.
Ms. Pizzak, is your microphone on? It's a little hard to hear. Let's see.
At 9:33. Could we have a little louder, please, here? Thank you. Is that better? Much better. Thank you. Thank you. Will you please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. That is much better. Thank you. The call for consent is the first item. The consent agenda is composed of items 3A through 3H. Are there any items that members of the court or the public would like to consider separately, please?
Commissioners, any items that you would like pulled, or any members of the public that would like to pull any items? Okay, hearing none, I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leone?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout is absent. Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to resolutions, item 4A. Approve and adopt a resolution recognizing April 29th, 2018 as World Wish Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Thank you, Pat. Judge, Commissioners, it gives me a tremendous amount of honor to be able to read this into the record. Good morning, Rose. Thank you for joining us. I'll read the resolution, and if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you. Whereas a wish experience can be a catalyst for children fighting life-threatening conditions that rekindles their belief in themselves and the promise of their future. And by fulfilling these requests, Make-A-Wish El Paso Regional Office delivers hope, strength, and joy to children of our community to improve and forever impact the lives of these children. And whereas wishes are far more a singular event in time, positively impacting everyone involved, including families, volunteers, donors, medical professionals, and the entire community. And whereas both parents and physicians confirm that wish experiences play a unique role in the healing process for children and their families, wishes have a positive effect on children's emotional health and attitude, which in turn promotes better physical health and an improved quality of life. And whereas World Wish Day, April 29th, honors the anniversary of the wish granted to a boy named Chris, who wished to be a police officer. Granting his wish inspired the creation of Make-A-Wish and sparked a global wish-granting movement. And whereas the El Paso Regional Office will be celebrating World Wish Day in honor of the more than 83 wishes for El Paso area children who have had a wish granted in our community since September 1st, 2017. Now therefore be it resolved by County Judge and Commissioners Court that April 29th, 2018 shall be recognized as World Wish Day in El Paso. Signed this 30th day of April 2018 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court, with the exception of Commissioner Stout, who will sign it as soon as he gets back in town. Second.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leone?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote. Aye. Motion carries.
The floor is yours.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you very much for this recognition. I apologize that I sound like a teenager, probably going through puberty, but after you've had an event on Saturday where you're trying to speak over a loud sound system for 3 hours, I guess this is bound to happen, right? We just had our third annual Walk for Wishes on Saturday. We increased our attendance from 400 to over 1,000 participants. We doubled our fundraising dollars from $48,000 to over $100,000. And so I think that speaks to the commitment of granting wishes from the El Paso community. I want to thank you for this recognition. This past spring, I had or in February, I had the opportunity to meet Chris Gracious's mother. And I asked her, what advice do you have for staff members, for volunteers, for wish granters, for members of our regional council? And she said, if you just keep the kids at the forefront, everything else will fall into place. She says, sometimes people get caught up in, numbers and stuff like that. She says, just keep kids at the forefront. That's all that matters. And this is coming from the woman whose son spearheaded this movement. And I think it just serves as a reminder to all of us how important keeping the mission of our organizations is. And so when I came back, I shared that with the council and our committee. I said, let's just make it about the kids. Everything else will fall into place. And it did, and it doubled, and I think it showed in the end in our numbers. So thank you very much for this recognition on behalf of the council, all the Wish Kids that we serve in El Paso County. We can't thank you enough.
Rose, what a tremendous job that you have. And I remember the police officer for a day. It was great, and what a difference it makes on that child. And like it says on the resolution, the family, the doctors, everybody involved. What a tremendous change and hope that it creates. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Congratulations. Round of
Thank you.
applause.
Thank you. Item 4B, approve and adopt a resolution declaring the week of April 30th, 2018 through May 2nd, 2018 as El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame Week in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning, everybody. It's my pleasure to read this resolution into the record, and I'd ask that all of our guests please come up to the podium. Whereas the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame was founded in 1955 to honor those athletes, both men and women, who have in their athletic fields of endeavor brought great credit upon themselves and El Paso County. And whereas the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame is celebrating its 63rd annual induction banquet, at which it will honor El Paso's top athletes, coaches, administrators, officials, trainers, media supporters of athletics, posthumous recipients, and giving recognition to the top high school student athletes of the year. And whereas the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame has inducted more than 353 men and women into its prestigious organization, and whose individual plaques are proudly displayed in the concourse of the Don Haskins Special Events Center on the campus of the University of Texas at El Paso. And whereas the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame's yearly efforts will continue to provide fond memories for decades to come for El Paso, Texas, and the region. Now, therefore, be it resolved that El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court do hereby declare the week of April 30th through May 2nd, 2018 as El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame Week. Signed this 30th day of April 2018 by the honorable members of the El Paso County Commissioners Court.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here this morning.
First of all, we'd like to thank County Judge Ruben Voigt and County Commissioners for this great honor this morning in recognizing the 2018 El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame class, and especially because it's on my birthday. Thank you so much. The Price is Given 5 Hall of Fame banquet will be this Wednesday at May the 2nd at 6 p.m. at Sunland Park Racetrack, another sold-out activity. We will be inducting 8 new members to the Hall of Fame this year and also recognizing various high school athletes of the year and high school teams of the year. I am Ruben Ramirez. I'm the current president of the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame. Today I'm joined by Vice President Ed Stansberry, Benny Ontiveros, and Bernie Del Hierro, 2 of our inductees this year, and along with Wayne Thornton and Brian Kanoff, who have helped and worked so hard on this banquet this year. This year, I'm not going to read through the list because it's long, and I don't want to take up a bunch of your time, and I'll give you a copy of the program so you guys can know what's up, who's going to be in it and stuff. But like I said, Manny and Bernie are 2 of our inductees this year. So, I just want to tell them again, congratulations. And again, thank you so much. And on behalf of Price's Creamery and El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame, thank you very much for having us here today.
Thank you. And I'm not sure if anybody else would like to speak. No? Well, congratulations to, please, if you'd like to say a few words, we'd love to hear from you. Congratulations on being inducted this year.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today. I'm the past president of the Hall of Fame, and Bernie's being honored as an official. I am being honored as the supporter of athletics this year. Unfortunately, some of the individuals also inducted, some of them from out of town, so unfortunately they're barely making their way into town either the next day or the day of the banquet. because of their commitments. But it's an honor to be here with you today. Thank you so much for recognizing the organization, and thank you again very much.
Well, thank you all very much for what you've done. I know that athletics is really big here in El Paso. We have a long history, and congratulations to the San Lazario men's high school soccer team for recently winning the UIL championship tournament in the state. Yeah, so congratulations, and thank you all for being here again this morning. Congratulations. Thank you. No, absolutely not. It's a friend of the block.
If you just back there behind him, great. Sorry, maybe I ought to do this for a living. Yes? Okay. Oh, I love it. This is great. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Item 4C, approve and adopt a resolution designating May 1st through 4th, 2018 as Jury Appreciation Week in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning again. Commissioner Stout is out today, but I have the pleasure of reading this resolution into the record, and I believe we have some of our fantastic judges here to speak on this item. Whereas the right to a trial by jury is one of the core values of United States citizenship, and whereas the obligation and privilege to serve as a juror are as fundamental to our democracy as a right to vote. Whereas the courts depend upon citizens to serve as jurors, and service by citizens as jurors is indispensable to the judicial system. And whereas all citizens should be encouraged to respond when summoned for jury service. And whereas a continuing and imperative goal of the courts, the bar, and the broader community is to ensure that jury selection and jury service are fair, effective, and not unduly burdensome on anyone. Whereas one of the most significant actions a court system can take is to show appreciation for the jury system and for the thousands of citizens who annually give their time and talents to serve on juries. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that they are committed to the following goals, which include educating the public about jury duty and the importance of jury service, applauding the efforts of jurors who fulfill their civic duty, ensuring that the responsibility of jury service is shared fairly by supporting employees who are called upon to serve as jurors, ensuring that the responsibility of jury service is shared fairly among citizens and that a fair cross-section of the community is called for jury service, ensuring that all jurors are treated with respect and that their service is not unduly burdensome, providing jurors with tools that will assist their decision-making, and continuing to improve the jury system by encouraging productive dialogue between jurors and court officials. And be it further resolved that the dates of May 1st through 4th, 2018 be designed Jury Appreciation Week in El Paso County, Texas, and that we together with the El Paso Council of Judges support the celebration of this week, which shall include various activities in pursuit of the above goals. Signed this 30th day of April, 2018 by the honorable members of the Commissioners Court.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning, Judge. Thank you very much, Commissioners and Judge, for taking this moment to recognize the hard work that the jurors do. I am Dolores Reyes. I am the newly appointed jury duty court magistrate. So I have the task of making sure that the citizens do fulfill their civic duty and appear for jury duty. But at the same time, I want to make sure that we take time to appreciate those who came. to jury service, and so that is what this week is for. It was initially recognized in 2015 by the Texas legislatures that the first week of May shall be set forth as appreciation for their service. The attorneys and the judges are needed for the legal machine to work, but it is the jurors that provide the fuel to keep that machine running. And so I'm grateful that we are taking this week to show our appreciation for all that they do. So thank you very much, Jill.
Thank you. We appreciate you being here. Judge Trejo, did you want to say anything? No? Okay. Excellent. Thank you all. A round of applause, please. Thank you.
Item 4D, approve and adopt a resolution declaring Saturday, May 12, 2018 as Stamp Out Hunger Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning to our guests. Thank you for being here. It is my honor to read this resolution into the record. I'm happy to have so many on today. Whereas celebrating their 26th annual Letter Carrier Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive, every year on the second Saturday in May, letter carriers across the county collect non-perishable food as part of the nation's largest one-day food drive, distributing the donations to local food banks. And whereas the generosity of the community made it possible for letter carriers to collect 150,000 pounds of non-perishable food locally last year, and nationally over 80 million pounds while delivering mail to help collect food for thousands of families in need. And whereas the National Association of Letter Carriers, in collaboration with the National Rural Letter Carriers Association, the United States Postal Service, NALC Branch 505, UFCW, Teamsters, United Way of El Paso County, Yellow Roadway Corporation, ABF Freight System, Valpac, Velasas, USAA Foundation, and El Pasoans Fighting Hunger Food Bank have joined in this great effort. Now therefore be it resolved that the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court do hereby declare Saturday, May 12th, 2018 as Stamp Out Hunger Day, and encourage the community to make this food drive the best and largest single-day food drive in the history of El Paso County. Signed this 30th day of April 2018 by the honorable members of the Commissioners Court.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioners and County Judge. We appreciate your support of this important endeavor. So many of us have partnered together to make this food drive possible. As you mentioned, there's 150,000 pounds that we collected last year to feed 91,000 hungry people in the community. That 150,000 pounds represents 125,000 meals that this community frankly cannot do without. So we are counting on this community's citizens to help us again this year and providing even more food for our community. The people that we serve through the 120 different soup kitchens, shelters, and pantries in the region are counting on the county and its citizens to provide this food. The people that we're talking about are vulnerable kids, low-income children, low-income seniors, working families who just don't make enough money to make ends meet, veterans, and people with disabilities, to name just a few. So we are grateful for the county's support and look forward to another successful event this year. Thank you so much.
And would everyone like to introduce themselves or say a few words? You're welcome to.
My name is Ana Martinez, NALC Branch Steward, Food Drive Coordinator for 2018. And again, I would like to say thank you, Commissioners, Judge, for all your assistance in making this last year's and hopefully this year great success. We did get to collect twice as many pounds last year than the year prior. So hopefully we are shooting for the same amount. Actually, they want 180,000.
Shoot for a little more. Yeah.
But I will be more than happy to collect 150,000 because El Pasoans are so grateful and willing to help their fellow man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, my name is Terry Wyatt. I'm the Chief Development Officer for El Pasoans Fighting Hunger. This is the second year I've had the opportunity to come and say thank you to all of you. Each one of you are so generous with your time, with your efforts to help us feed the hungry, and we're so very appreciative. If you'd like to join us May 12th at the food bank to help receive all of this food, we would love to have you. It's an incredible experience to watch all these trucks come in, to watch all the food being unloaded and sorted. And as Susan mentioned, all of the people that you impact in all areas of the county by saying yes to giving us food, it's just absolutely incredible to watch. And I want to personally thank Anna and Albert for their dedication. Anna is just everywhere, both of them, publicizing, talking about the fact that we need food in this community to feed our hungry. So thank you, God bless you, and God willing, you'll be with us on May 12th.
Thank you for being here this morning. Go ahead. Everyone else, you'd like to introduce yourselves, please? You don't have to say anything, but at least your name and who you're representing.
I'm Celeste Hardin. I'm the Director of Procurement, and I help organize the food drive. Thank you.
Hello, Brianna Hernandez, Director of Marketing at the Food Bank.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
My name is Albert Anchondo. I'm the local president. I want to remind everybody of the hard work and dedication by our letter carriers. Thanks to the Postal Service for helping us use their supplies and their locations. And thanks to El Paso for being out there to take care of their hungry in El Paso. Thank you.
Commissioner
Leo. Judge, Commissioners, and again, thank you for being here. I was stunned some years back to learn that with the amount of food that's collected is enough to feed somebody one meal once every 4 days. It's just unthinkable at this stage of our development. So any food source that is derived from this is tremendously welcome. But I've got to say that, and I've said this before, I just got back from vacation. I took my grandson someplace, and it's nice to be able to walk in someplace and be able to afford to buy some. But then it just breaks my heart when you see people that and they're living here in our city that cannot do that. So thank you for all your service.
Thank you again for what you do, and we appreciate you being here today. And to our letter carriers, thank you. You already have a enormous responsibility to add this to your plate, as I'm sure a lot, but I'm sure that there are many in the community who are very thankful for your selflessness. So thank you all for being here. Thank you. Round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
We'll go ahead and take public comment next. And then we're going to go ahead and take one item from executive session, which will take hopefully no longer than 10 minutes. And so just wanted to let everyone that's here know, right after we come back from executive session, we'll vote on that item, and then we'll go back to our regular agenda. And we may take the ESD item first as soon as we return.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge. Item 5, public comment.
Ms. Pizek, we have one member of the public signed up to speak, Mr. Pierre Andre Uzadaga. Good morning, Mr. Uzadaga.
Sir, good morning. Good morning again. My fellow Americans, Texans, Pierre Andre Uzadaga, founder, president, and CEO of Emerald Star Global Industries. Last week, I left off with an opiate note, I believe, and this week, I want to kind of pick up off on that. The El Paso Times had an article about the Office of National Drug Control Policy, which is an office under the White House, Apparently they're late submitting some report on how to address the opioid epidemic. Legalization of naturals, organics, is what we have to do in order to address this budget. Kratom, I want to talk about, is a tree found in Southeastern Asia. And it's basically what people are doing, they're taking the roots of this tree and grounding it up into a powder. And they're getting that powder and mixing it with their drink or their food, or they're encapsulating it and taking it orally. Now, I know the federal government and even the state government, because I've reached out to Joe Moody, and I know he's been meeting with other representatives to see how to address this issue. There's a lot of concern because kratom has a lot of opioid similarities. It affects the body similar. But what I need people to understand is that kratom is natural. It's a tree. They're cutting the root. They're scraping and grounding it up, and then they're taking it orally. Whereas legal or prescribed heroin, right, these opioids are synthetic. They're chemicals. According to New York Times, last year alone, 59,000 deaths related to prescription pills, 59,000. And the government is looking at criminalizing kratom because there's been 44 deaths in a 6-year span. That's about 7 deaths a year for those using kratom. And usually the deaths are linked to recreational use. They're using kratom with other opioids. But, I mean, peanuts, let's talk about peanuts. There's about 10 deaths a year for people who consume peanuts. That doesn't mean we should criminalize kratom. We should legalize kratom because I have personally spoken to a lot of consumers of kratom, and there's a huge trend of people weaning off prescription pills and resorting to kratom as a way to recuperate their bodies and basically wean off the pills. And so I know our acting deputy, I believe his name is James Carroll Jr., is kind of not sure what direction to take. And I'm here to say today that we need to look at all organics and legalize organics. Cannabis, kratom, I've said peyote, I've even talked about mushrooms. They're natural. They grow from the ground. I could put 4 pots right here and you can have a cannabis plant. You can have a kratom tree. You can have mushrooms, and we can have peyote. Prescription pills, and our kids are looking at us when we pop these pills, and when we take them to the doctor, our doctors sometimes prescribe pills. I put them here, and there's a lot of powder. If I take the pills out of the orange bottle and I pour them here on the table, you're going to see powder just begin to dance in the air. Those are chemicals. They're deadly. Again, 59,000 deaths linked to these pills alone. We should criminalize pills, criminalize synthetics. Now, that's the opioid epidemic. You legalize these naturals, we're making the streets safer at the same time. I was thinking this whole week, what makes El Paso great? What's an asset that we all have in common? It's the border. The border is what makes us great. Cannabis, right now, it's semi-criminalized, right? We're enforcing outdated laws. So right now, we're importing, and Mexico's exporting a lot of marijuana, right? So there's a lot of fighting, or there was a lot of fighting going on. And that made the streets unsafe. That's why we had a lot of immigration issues, because people were leaving their homelands that were just dangerous. They wanted to come to the United States where we're a little bit more safer. But now over the past few years, we've been able to, those deaths have been able to decline. We're now at a place where we're beginning not only to revitalize downtown El Paso, but we're revitalizing Juarez. We're revitalizing El Paso. And in closing, what I want to say is that we need to focus and push the state legislators and the federal legislators to begin to look at these options, because it makes everybody safe. adults and children. They need to resort to naturals. It keeps them healthy. It keeps them out in the field, soccer fields, football fields, and whatnot. It helps them in the classroom. And this is the direction that we need to go to. And I just want to say that I feel strongly that it's El Paso's responsibility, all of our responsibility here in El Paso to make ourselves an example and share that message. And hopefully we'll make an impact by this time next week. And so that's what I want to say here today. I do want to thank everyone for their ears, and I do want to ask God to bless us all, and I'll see you all in a week.
Thank you, Mr. Uzaraga.
Your Honor, thank you, Commissioners. It was great seeing you all again.
So at this time, we'll go ahead and take that one item from executive session. As I mentioned, we come back, we'll take our guests so that you're not lingering too long. So we'll take the ESD item, and then we'll take our item from our State Board of Education member, Ms. Bettis. So,
okay, thank you, Judge. Commissioners Court will now recess into executive session to discuss the following item 18D, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. The court will reconvene to take official action at 10:03 a.m.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Denny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the Purchasing Department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the Purchasing Department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
to regular open session at 10:32 a.m. Item 15, Budget and Finance. Approve and authorize the El Paso County Emergency Services District Number 1 loan amendment for the construction of Station Number 2 in the district.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. I know there was a minor change from the last time the item was on the agenda and approved, so I don't know if you want to speak to that item.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Good morning. My name is Chris Menendez. I'm the Fire Chief for the Horizon Fire Department, ESD number 1. Last week, we had discussed the loan and was unanimously approved for $3 million at an interest rate of 3.85%. When the paperwork was filed, the interest rate had already changed and gone up and is now at 3.95%. So with that being said, we filed the paperwork and we were lucky enough to get it locked in, but we're still needing approval from the board in regards to that change in interest. So what we're looking for today is to get a unanimous approval for the change to allow us to proceed with the loan at the same amount of money, $3 million, but with the new interest rate at 3.95%. One note, since then it has gone up again. As of last Monday, it went up to 4.01%. And my colleague had talked to our financial advisor, and he said also today it has gone up again. Luckily, we were able to lock it in, dependent upon your approval.
Commissioners, any questions? No?
Second.
Thank you. And Commissioner Pettis seconded. Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
We were going to take, under presentations, item A. I don't see Ms. Bettis in the audience. I don't know if she's still outside. Does anybody see her by chance with Mr.?
Yeah, she's coming back.
Okay. You'll just give us a quick second, Ms. Pizek.
Certainly.
Okay, we can go ahead and read the item into the record.
Thank you, Judge. Item 6, presentation. 6A, receive a presentation from the Office of State Board of Education member Georgina Perez regarding the Path to Diploma rules.
Good morning, Ms. Perez. How are you?
Good morning.
Before you start, I wanted
Yes,
to
sir.
say congratulations on all the great work that you've been doing on behalf of El Paso and for our kids. Every time I turn, it seems like there's really great news coming out of the good work that you're doing, so thank you.
I hope so. It's a work of love, honestly, and so I think that's what makes it so easy to constantly have good things to say and good work being accomplished. And of course, I don't do that alone. I have a tremendous amount of support here at home, so thank you all. Today, what I want to talk to you about are new rules that allow Texans who have finished high school but have not obtained a diploma due to state testing requirements. They now have a pathway to earn their high school diplomas. Texans who have completed industry-based certifications, successfully completed college-level coursework, or served in the United States Armed Forces are now eligible to receive a diploma under these rules. Current members of the U.S. Armed Services can obtain a diploma with proof of their service, and veterans of military service need only supply a copy of their DD-214. Any completed college-level coursework, so long as it results in an earned college credit, will also be accepted. Our school districts are now able to award diplomas under established alternative graduation requirements and may establish local alternative graduation requirements. However, local requirements will not be in addition to the state's requirements. It will be one or the other. All of this information can be found on the TEA website. You can easily find me, contact me for assistance finding that. But most importantly, I'm very proud of these rules because of the betterment and the opportunity that it allows for our individuals, their families, our communities, and the potential to provide access and equity, particularly to the state's economy. And to contextualize this for you, this applies to any individual who entered grade 9 prior to the 2011-2012 school year. In El Paso County alone, between the years 2003 and 2013, there were over 19,000 individuals who left high school without a high school diploma. One of the examples that my office is working on right now are individuals who entered the military because you can enter with a GED. However, once you reach E4, you cannot be promoted. The difference between E4 and E5 is $300 a month. That's $3,600 per year for an individual's family. And my ask of you is assistance with outreach. The rules go into effect May 3rd, and they expire September 1st of 2019. So it's May 3rd of 2018 to September 1st of 2019. So we do have the pathway, we do have the means, we do have the rules, and with swift implementation, which our school districts are already just about done with who the point of contacts are here in El Paso County, we can get this, we can get quite a few of them completed by the end of May, June graduation ceremonies. So again, my ask of you is assistance with outreach.
Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Judge, Commissioners, the reason I put this on the agenda is, number one, for the folks that are at home listening to the broadcast, and also I know that media is here, and there's so many people that probably, as you stated, have hit the ceiling insofar as the amount of wages they can earn, right. And they think in the back of their mind that they can't do it, it's too much right. work, it's too much, when they've already done most of it. And right. there's also a sunset clause right. in this, so there is a time frame right. where those folks need to take some action. Right. And I really appreciate you coming down and letting this be known.
Well, you're absolutely right. Most of the individuals that this applies to, they believe that there was no way out of their financial predicament because prior to these rules, there wasn't. And there never has been. And so they're not, in that belief, they were not mistaken. However, now that we do have a pathway, now that we do have an opportunity, we need to do our very best to inform our community of this opportunity. Additionally, because of conversations that we have with Region 19, our education service center here locally, we have adult learning centers in many of our districts, and they are all opening their doors to any individuals, whether that's their district that they would have attended or not, to complete whatever they might be missing from the high school curriculum so that they can reach that benchmark as well.
And is there a number or a website that folks can utilize or contact if they have any questions or need some help? I'm
going to provide that to each of you in just Perfect. A moment. Yes, okay. Sir.
But also, can you utter it so people at home can copy it down?
Yes. So if you just Google my name, Georgina Perez, and then you'll see my website, you can contact me there. My email address is on there, and my cell phone number, of course, is the easiest way to find me, and that's 915-261-8663.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, Commissioner Hager.
My wife's a teacher in the Socorro School District, and I'll tell you, the path to diploma options that are available are
essential for a lot of people in this community. Thank you. Thank you. It took us about a little over 2 years to get this, and I think that what's important for people to understand is that this is not easier. It's definitely not an easier route, but we cannot put all 5.5 million students in one box and say this is the only definition of success. There is more than one way to be successful, and our students and our communities deserve more than one box to fit in, and this allows that. And not only is it an educational opportunity, it's a financial opportunity as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the information. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jude, for being here and for sharing.
Thank you, Gene.
Thank you. Board appointments, item 7. Approve the reappointment of Commissioner Haggerty's appointee, Russell P. Eubinger, to the Housing Authority Board for the term beginning May 15, 2018 through May 14, 2020.
I put Mr. Ubinger was a replacement for a board member who had to get removed. He's been a fantastic board member. He's kept me in the loop of what's going on, been very active, and I moved to reappoint him.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioners Court, item 8, approve and authorize the county judge to submit a letter to the El Paso Metropolitan Planning Organization listing the final projects sponsored by the County of El Paso in the 2045 Destino Metropolitan Transportation Plan.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jose Landeros with the Office of Commissioner Perez. The IT is bringing up this list. It was in the backup posted to the item over the weekend. This is the final list of projects that the county has agreed to sponsor in the MPO's new transportation planning documents. It's actually been about a year-long process. The court approved submitting the initial projects back in April of 17, and the MPO Policy Board is scheduled to take action on submitting the final documents to the Federal Highway Administration and other consultative partners sometime in mid-May, so the process is almost over. Back in December, you all approved amendments to the projects that were originally submitted. What was not included in that amendment were the projects that the county has agreed to sponsor in fiscal year 19, which here on the backup you can see that the projects that the county has agreed to sponsor in fiscal year 19 are the Pelicano Drive widening and reconstruction project, as well as the Tornillo Hike and Bike project, which was a grant that Public Works submitted an application to the MPO for through the Transportation Alternatives Program. So these 12 projects are the final projects that will be sponsored by the county in the new MPO MTP. Apologize for all the acronyms, but that is the nature of transportation planning. But if you all have any questions, today's action will just allow the judge to send the letter confirming that these are the projects the county has agreed to sponsor.
Commissioners, any questions? Jose, just one quick question. The arterial one, that's the one in partnership with Socorro? That's the one that works with the tribe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, so arterial one, there, a little less than halfway after the bottom half of the page, is a partnership with the city of Socorro. The county has agreed to co-sponsor that project's construction. The city of Socorro, has actually secured project design funds from the MPO that they should begin design sometime in fiscal year 19. It's possible that if design is completed and funds are available, that construction of that project could actually be accelerated to sometime in 2021 as opposed to 2029. But by that point, the MPO will be designing and developing its new planning documents. They're required to do it every 4 years. So that's any changes in these projects may happen sometime around 2022. Yeah.
And just a thank you to Mr. Landeros and our Public Works team, because this is a lot of work. Now serving on the MPO board, Mr. Landeros is amazing when it comes to the TPAC and the work that they're doing, and Sal Alonso with our Public Works department and Ms. Rita Palacios. Thank you all so much. And Commissioner Perez, you too, you bring so much knowledge, and it's been great to work with you and your team and Public Works on finalizing this and moving it forward. So thank you all very much. Second. There's a motion by Commissioner Haggerty, and I seconded it.
Thank you very much, Judge. Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
County Administration, item 9. Discuss and take appropriate action to adopt a policy regarding the use of county funds by elected officials and precinct officials who have not sought or secured re-election.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Currently, the county does have a policy to govern expenditures by elected officials who are either not seeking re-election or who have not secured their office. However, the current policy is very brief and needed additional clarity. So the current policy said any training or travel expenditures required Commissioners Court approval. It also said any office supply expenditure that exceeds the amount of what purchasing and auditor anticipate would be sufficient for the remaining of the fiscal year, or for the remainder of the term. And then it addressed any personnel, job, position upgrades or downgrades, and any equipment purchases. And so to better clarify and make it clear who the policy applies to, we have submitted the draft to the court. And if you'd like, I can go through some of the details of the draft.
That would be helpful.
Okay. So we've made it clear when this policy was originally adopted, it was believed that it would be applicable to all elected officials, but we have clarified that in the applicability, that it is applicable to all state, county, and precinct office holder positions when they have not secured re-election after the time the primary election is canvassed or election returns are announced, and when incumbents have not filed for re-election by the filing date. That was something that was not clear in the previous policy. So it is effective from that applicable date until the remainder of that term, that person's term in office. Then in the policy, we clarify that travel expenditures that occur more than 30 days after the filing date or primary canvass will require placement on your agenda. And the reason why we selected 30 days is because you have to submit for travel. You're supposed to submit for travel 45 days in advance. And so they will not have known whether they have secured or not 45 days in advance. So that's why we're making it applicable to travel requests that occur 30 days or more after that particular date. And then these items would come to the court for approval. And of course, to be considered, we've provided some guidelines to the court. The travel requested should be required to perform the duties of office or to advance county interest. And they must provide written confirmation with their travel request whether other training options at no or a lesser cost are available to meet these requirements. Basically, I think this would help us. We had a situation recently where had we known in advance the reason for the request, it would have been more simple for the court to process the request because the court would have had the knowledge and information to help make their decision. Let's see, office operating expenditures. Again, this was already restricted in the previous policy, but this now explains that when the auditor or the purchasing agent feel like the expenditure or find that the expenditure exceeds what they consider sufficient or reasonable for a remainder of the office's term. And then it also references that generally we'll look at what percentage of the year has lapsed. So if only 25% of the budget year has lapsed, we don't expect expenditures to exceed more than 25% of the allocated budget. Of course, now there could be a request that would not exceed the 25%, and that's the next section, which is supplies should not be purchased in quantities that will exceed the need for the time the state, county, or precinct officer will be in office. So, for example, it may not exceed 25% of the budget, but if I was an office holder and I came in the first quarter of the fiscal year knowing that or first quarter of the calendar year, knowing I have not sought re-election and I order 10,000 business cards, that would be something that the auditor's office or purchasing would question, did I need that many supplies? And that would come to Commissioner's Court for approval. Also, personnel changes. This was already, again, a restriction under the previous policy, but we're just clarifying that it goes through standard county procedures and that additional consideration will be given to whether the change requested is required and whether it could wait until the next term of office begins. If the elected official does not agree, right now they have the ability to appeal that to Commissioner's Court. And so you all would hear it if they do not agree with the staff recommendation that the change not be made. And then equipment and capital expenditures, they will require additional review to evaluate the necessity of the expenditure. Additional consideration will be given to whether the purchase is necessary or whether it could wait till the next term of office. And again, if staff finds that a purchase is not, it could wait, the elected official could always come to Commissioner's Court to appeal that decision.
Any questions, commissioners? This has been on the agenda a couple of times, and Ms. Ms. Sanchez.
Yes. Hello, Christina Sanchez, Assistant County Attorney. What I wanted to advise this court, and of course any future courts, is it's very important with this particular policy that there is consistency in its application. I mean, you have here a policy that sends out the ground rules for your state, your elected, and your precinct officials. And when there's appeals or when there's questions that come up, again, it's very important that the Commissioner's Court does apply a certain standard and set of rules, that you're not just picking and choosing how it's going to apply in certain ways. And of course, there could be a method of doing that via the application that they submit when the court comes forward to approve any types of travel expenditures and the questions that are asked. But it really has to be a consistent and uniformed application. And I just wanted to make sure to address that with this court as well as any other future courts that come along. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no questions, I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote?
Aye.
Motion carries. Judiciary and Corrections, item 10.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioners.
Rescind the court order from the special meeting of December 21st, 2017. Item number 2, to approve and authorize the county judge to sign the interlocal cooperation agreement with the Texas Department of Public Safety El Paso Crime Lab for one full-time equivalent employee, FTE, to perform blood alcohol analysis in an amount not to exceed $159,671.77 for a 2-year term. Contract number 2017-0844.
Did we read 11 also?
Yeah, and then we have to take 2 separate action items, but let's read that 11 too.
Thank you. Item 11, a correction has been requested per Christina Sanchez, Assistant County Attorney. As corrected, the item reads, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the interlocal cooperation agreement with the Texas Department of Public Safety El Paso Crime Lab for one full-time equivalent employee, FTE, to perform blood alcohol analysis on El Paso County cases in an amount not to exceed $159,671.77 for a 2-year term. Funding is available in account GF CRM Just Cowarden Contra SBC Gen. Further, authorize the reallocation of funding from account GF CRM Just Coward Cont SBC Gen to account GF CCRIM C2 Communication Contra Serve, contract number 2017-0844.
Good morning, Judge Anchondo. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm in the middle of a board there. Thank you all, and good morning to each and every one of you. I believe since our last time that you all graciously considered this contract, we've been just going back and forth, streamlining and correcting matters of substance. And I think we finally got it finalized with the department and ourselves to finalize this matter so we can start doing our business that we had brought before the court. And so we're just asking you all to approve it. I guess the only thing I was mainly concerned was the amount, but I think it was already been corrected on the record.
Were there any significant changes, Judge, that you would like to mention?
No.
Okay.
Nothing that wasn't taken care of, and I think both parties are satisfied. We would be satisfied. The district attorney is satisfied. And the court is not placed in any other position that it wasn't before when we were negotiating this contract.
Move to approve 10, then 11.
One question, Judge.
Commissioner Pettis?
Gabby, if I recall correctly, when we were considering this item, the source of funding was from attrition from the Criminal Justice Coordinator's office, correct?
Correct. Gabby Federer from the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department, yes.
Okay. And I just wanted the court to be aware. The issue that I had with this when it came before is more procedural. I really do not believe that the court should be using attrition as a source of revenue to budget for items like this when we do not fully budget for it. I don't think it's a very transparent process. And I strongly urge our Budget and Fiscal Department and administration this year, if this is going to be a practice where we're going to use attrition that we then account for that as a revenue source so then it can be appropriately allocated. But, in this particular case, we just have not used attrition as a revenue source. And so if we're going to do that, I just think it needs to be articulated in our budget as a separate revenue source, and we haven't done that. And so for that reason, I was opposed to it.
And I don't think it's a different revenue source. I think it's something that we can solve an issue, and there's money in there to be able to do it with that. To sit there and call it a revenue source, I think gives people a lot more belief that they have the right to use that money every year, for attrition money, as a revenue stream.
Right, well, which is what we're doing. I mean, we are spending the funds.
It happens, and I agree it happens, but to call it a revenue stream, I think it's going to put even more light and to give people a belief.
Well, here's the issue: is that how much attrition funds do we have available countywide?
Well, I don't know, but here's what I know.
I don't know either.
We have enough due to attrition to solve this issue, and it's an issue that is affecting too many people in El Paso.
I completely agree, and I think if that were the process during the budget process, that this funding were to be used for that purpose, I'd have no problem with that. But the issue is that we have no clue how much attrition is available for these types of issues.
And I don't disagree, and I don't think we ever will. But to label it a revenue source, I'll disagree with all day long. But I understand where you're coming from.
But that is a no vote. Thank you, Commissioner Pettis.
Hold on just a minute. I know that there is a motion on the table, but we have two items. Item 10 is to rescind, and then item 11 is to approve and authorize the new interlocal. So if we can take those up in two motions to make it clear what we're doing, that would be great.
I said 10, then 11.
Okay.
So Commissioner Haggerty's motion to rescind as
10.
per item 10.
Item 10, okay.
I'll second that.
And Commissioner Leon seconded that one?
Yes.
I've got a question real quick.
Okay, thank
Judge,
you.
When do you estimate we'll have a start date?
Always a good question, Commissioner. If it was up to me, Judge, Commissioner, I know that both parties, to tell you the truth, are immediately wanting to start this. And so, like everything else, it's just a question of putting it in paper, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So I think now that we have that, with your all's approval and blessing, I think we could probably get this going. I don't think would we be out 30 days maybe in getting this going? Once we get it in place and signed? Let me put it to you this way, Commissioner. It will be my duty to go and make sure that we get on this very quick, to be addressing the issue that we brought before you. So I will try to make every effort to immediately get on this. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve item 10 to rescind the court order. Commissioner Haggerty made it. Commissioner Leon seconded it. Commissioner Pettis?
No.
Pardon?
No.
No, it's a no also. Thank you. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote?
Aye.
Motion carries. And item 11 as corrected.
I move to approve item 11.
Before you do that, Gabby Federer from the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. I do want to make a correction on just the description, just for record. It shouldn't be communication contracted services. It should just be contracted services. So we'll come from the GFCCRIMC2 contracted services account.
Could you repeat that, please, Ms. Farrell? It's not going to.
We're just removing the COMMUNIC.
Okay, so funding is available in account GF, is that correct?
That's correct.
Further authorize the reallocation of funding from?
The GF Criminal Justice Coordination Contracted Services General to GF County Criminal Court Outlaw Number 2 Contracted Services.
We're taking out the community.
Taking out the community. Okay, thank you.
Move to approve as corrected.
Thank you.
And just for my edification, are we going to the amount that not to exceed 159,671.77? Is that
Yes,
correct?
Judge, that was part of the motion. Right, that's
Thank you
right.
very much.
So we have.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Commissioner Pettis?
No.
Thank you. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your support on this matter. We'll get on this as quickly as we can. Thank you all very much.
Good
I'm
afternoon.
excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Litigation, Justice, and Law Enforcement, item 12. approve and authorize the electronic submission of a grant application to the Texas Indigent Defense Commission funding the Public Defender Mental Health Litigation and Advocacy Unit for fiscal year 2019. Further, pass a resolution approving the application and designating grant officials, and authorize the county judge to sign the resolution and internet submission confirmation form. A 40% grant match in the amount of $428,447 is required for this second year of grant funding, and the Department of Budget and Fiscal Policy will account for the match in the fiscal year 2019 budget. Contract number 2018-0223.
Morning, Mr. Gondara.
Commissioners, Ms. Keller, we're up and running in the mental health unit. We're a caseload right now is a total of 527 cases. 4 line lawyers and 2 chiefs working in, and then one of the line lawyers is working in the jail doing the initial part of the case, releases, safety plans, and so forth. It's coming along real well, and it's productive, and it has not only helped us focus our attention on clients with mental health illness, it's helped balance our caseloads out a little bit. And the felonies that were increasing so much, it's helped us keep that under control. So I'd ask that you approve this year's funding.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
That was Commissioner Leon and Commissioner Pettis. Thank you. Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Information technology.
Thank you. Have a good
Item 13,
afternoon.
postponed April 23rd, 2018. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the service agreement with SHI Government Solutions. Further, approve a transfer in the amount of $126,700 from account GF Gad Ming Contra SVC Gen into account GF ITD Nate Rep Software. Contract number 2018-0198.
Chris, we're down to our last audience member.
Yeah, I think any nerves I should have should be dispelled. I don't have, but people I know. My name is Chris Stathis. I'm your Chief Technology Officer. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. The item before you is a contract for services that will bolster our security systems in place at the county. This particular subscription service will provide enhanced email protection. Those are things like phishing, malware, spam.
The things people keep clicking on?
The thing that people keep clicking on, and we're working on a lot of those efforts. Those are part of our strategic goals. Last month alone, we had almost 10,000 events that occurred of people trying to penetrate our systems through email, particularly. So this is one of the most important ways that we can stop some of the problems that we have. In addition to this, the item was originally a capital item, so it included funding that included an appliance or a piece of hardware. During the process of getting this approved, the company changed the way they offered the service, and it's now a subscription service. So we're asking for the funding source to be changed out of capital into a different funding source, which is why you had the second part on there. We recommend approval, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 14, approve and authorize the Information Technology Department to send a notification letter to Alacorp Alacare Incorporated, doing business as Blue Hill Data Services, for implementation of Statement of Work number 2 as per contract number 2018-0189.
Again, Chris Stathis, your Chief Technology Officer. This item was originally on the consent calendar, and I believe it was moved off to highlight kind of the achievement of what this represents. The work of your auditors, your budget and fiscal policy, purchasing department, human resource department, public works to some extent, have allowed us to move to the Munis environment for our ERP systems. the ancillary effect of that is we're able to lower the level of services that are provided on our legacy systems. Now, we're working very hard to get completely off of that, but we need to use that legacy system as a repository for our legacy data that we kind of haven't completely migrated over to. So this letter represents us reducing those services from our vendor that provides those mainframe services, and will eliminate about $100,000 in costs this year. And our hope is that by next year we're completely off that system and we're able to solely focus on Munis. So we recommend approval of the letter so that we can begin the process of spinning those services down.
Well, congratulations to you and to the rest of the team for achieving that. Thank you.
Ms. Pizza, excuse me, Judge Commissioners, did you read in the correction, which was to send a notification letter to Blue Hill Data Services?
No.
Okay.
Ms. Sanchez.
No, it's not Alicare Inc. It's only Blue Hill Data Services.
So, as corrected, it'll read, approve and authorize the Information Technology Department to send a notification letter to Blue Hill Data Services for implementation of Statement of Work number 2 as per contract number 2018-0189. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have a motion to approve from Commissioner Haggerty. Do we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Item 16, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the agreement with Crime Stoppers of El Paso for a donation in the amount of $5,000 from the county to Crime Stoppers for fiscal year 2018, contract number 2018-0176.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners. Gabby Federal from the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. This is the donation amount that was approved during budget hearings for fiscal year 18 back in August of 2017. The contract has gone through our county attorney's office, and at this moment I ask for your approval to sign.
Second.
Okay, so that was Commissioner Leon and
Yes,
the judge?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Though I strongly believe in this program, I do not think it's the county's job to donate to nonprofits, so no.
Thank you. Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries. And item 17, approve amendment number 29 to the County of El Paso's 2017-2018 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $31,200, thus increasing the overall budget of $485,250,714.87 to $485,281,914.87.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners. Gabby Federal from the Budget and Fiscal Policy Department. Do you all have any questions on the budget transfers for this week?
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries. Executive session. Commissioners Court will now recess into executive session to discuss the following items. Items 18A, B, C, and F pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071. The court will reconvene to take official action. It is now 11:10 a.m. Thank you. Commissioners Court has reconvened into regular open session at 11:27 a.m. Item 19, discuss and take action on the potential litigation regarding New York versus Department of Commerce, Bureau of Census, County Attorney's Case Number 010518PL. No action on this item. Item 20, discuss and take appropriate action to approve the amendment of the settle agreement with Mesquite Properties LP, cause number 2014 DCV 3734, and County Attorney Case Number 028514 LD. Could we have a motion, please, to approve and authorize the county judge to sign this version of the amended agreement, please?
So move.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. And could we please have a motion to postpone for 1 week executive session agenda item number 18E, please?
Second?
That was Commissioner Leon and the judge, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioner Pettis?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. That completes today's agenda.
Thank you, everybody.
The
We're
meeting
adjourned.
is adjourned at 11:28 a.m.